In search of spiritual guidance for the nation, President Bola Tinubu prays for Nigeria at Lesser Pilgrimage in Makkah, Saudi Arabia. Applauds for security agents, neutrality at weekends of cycle elections in Imo, Bayelsa and Kogi states. Plus stories on religion and much more on Panorama this Monday, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Elizabeth Omori. We'll be right back. President Bola Tinubu has performed lesser pilgrimage in Makkah with prayers for a much greater and peaceful Nigeria. State House correspondent Musbah Danwahab reports that this was after the president's official engagements in Riyadh at the Saudi Africa Summit and the Saudi Nigeria Business Roundtable.
President Bola Tinubu, for the second time in less than a year, was back in the Kaaba, considered in Islam as the holiest site and house of God. His previous visit was weeks before his election, and yet again he was here after victories of election and the attendant litigations. For this moment, the toga of presidency was aside as the Nigerian #1 joined other Muslims here as ordinary as possible before God. President Tinubu and his team of governors, ministers and other aides performed the 7th circuit circumambulation of the Holy Kaaba, ending with a two-standing prayer. In the other part of the rite, the Nigerian leader also performed the ritual of walk between the two hills of Safa and Marwa, symbolic of life struggle. This culminated in a special prayer. Pilgrimage is a religious obligation craved by Muslims, but this one is from a grateful heart.
I am grateful to God for His guidance, His blessings, and His answers to my prayers and the country's prayers for good of all. We have to give thanks to Him at every opportunity that we may have.
But beyond personal gratitude for the President and his team, there is certainly no better opportunities to pray God for a much greater Nigeria in peace, stability, and prosperity.
Your Excellency, what prayer did you say for Nigeria?
For the country, may our prosperity grow and our humanity be kind to each and every one of us. The prospect of the country is yet to blossom to the level that we require. It needs hard work and consistent prayer, and we are giving it to our mind and our spirit in every way possible. Our strength is our diversity, and we'll continue to build on that for the prospect and sake of the country.
This speaks volumes about the kind of president we have. Somebody who is deeply faithful in God, who is deeply thankful about what God has done to his life and what has God done to our country.
Before you can achieve anything in life, you have to commit it into the hands of God. And whatever you commit to his hands, you know it is safe and sure. So praying for Nigeria at this particular point in time is very important. It's inevitable.
With rapt attention, his statemently prayers, his usual leadership prayers for Nigeria across the board, being very conscious of our diversity, which he hopes to be a source of our strength, and of course the vision for Nigeria Nigeria in terms of trying to unlock the potentials of the country across the board, devoid of any sentiments or rancor or division. And I have prayed for Nigeria and for him as a leader, because once you pray for a leader, you are praying for the people.
These rights rounded off the president's bilateral and investment drive to Saudi Arabia with hopes of a greater deal for Nigeria in trade relations. From Makkah, Musbal and Wahab, NTA News.
Away from the pilgrimage, in the Kogi State off-cycle governorship election, Professor Johnson Ozemenam Orama, the INEC returning officer, has declared Usman Ahmed Ododo of the All Progressives Congress as winner. He secured a total of 446,237 votes, defeating his closest rival, Yakubu Murtala Ajaka of the SDP, who garnered 259,052 votes. Correspondent Solomon Ayiden reports that the electoral process has been acknowledged, peaceful and credible.
Returning officer for the Kogi State off-cycle governorship election, Professor Johnson Ozemenam, who also serves as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, declared Usman Ahmed Ododo of the APC as the winner of the governorship election. This declaration followed the signing and collection of results by various party agents present.
Ahmed Usman Ododo of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
At the government house in Lokoja, joy filled the air as critical stakeholders in the Kogi State government and party loyalists gathered to celebrate with Governor Yahaya Bello. The display of victory unfolded when Governor Yahaya Bello and the governor-elect expressed satisfaction with the election's outcome. Governor Bello congratulated the people of the state for supporting the APC and speaking with one voice by voting for Usman Ahmed Ododo. He commended INEC and the security agencies for ensuring a peaceful and credible election in Kogi, emphasizing that this process signifies peace, unity, and further development for the state.
I didn't disappoint you, and I am confident that the governor-elect and the deputy governor-elect will not disappoint you.
APC governor-elect Usman Ahmed Ododo characterized his success at the polls as a victory for the completion of Ajaokuta Steel and the overall development of the state.
Election has come and gone. I pledge to serve and to lead with accountability, transparency, and inclusivity.
People of the state, the peaceful nature of the exercise will not be taken for granted. Governor-elect Usman Ahmed Ododo is set to be sworn in on January 27, 2024. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Still on the off-cycle elections, the Police Service Commission staff monitors deployed to Kogi, Imo and Bayelsa states say the policemen on duty were courageous and fairly contained intermittent cases of attempts to hijack elections. A statement by the Commission notes that police officers and several polling units visited were said to be approachable and professional. Although there were incidents of attacks on voting units, some arrests were recorded in many places, especially in Kogi State. The police were said to have also contained pockets of attacks in Brass and some other locations in the riverine areas of Bayelsa State. There were, however, reports of vote buying in the 3 states, but without the connivance of police officers on election duties. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Commission, Dr. Solomon Arase, who monitored the exercise in Kogi, commended the 3 Deputy Inspectors General of Police who supervised police operations in the 3 states for their quick responses to the Commission's intermittent requests for police intervention in troubled areas. Dr. Arase calls on the force to Dr. Arasa calls on the force to remain on guard and prepared to forestall any breakdown of law and order after the announcement of the election results, and directs that in the few places where there were pockets of police misconduct, the police management should quickly investigate and forward its recommendations to the Commission for immediate disciplinary action. And following the announcement of governorship election results by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Imo and Kogi states, Bayelsa State is also getting set for collation of the governorship election held on Saturday in that state to continue. We now join our correspondent Kingsley Majiri, who is at the Governorship Collation Center in Yenegua. Kingsley, thanks for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to Yenegua, the Bayelsa State capital. We are at the INEC head office for the conclusion of the collation of the governorship election that held on the 11th of November 2023. Already you are aware that 6 of those local government area results have been announced: Obuja, Nembe, Yenegua, Kolokubo Upokuma local government area, Sabama and Ekremo, where the observers and the media, they are all seated here waiting for the remaining 2 local government areas, Southern Ijaw and Brass local government area, to bring to an end the cycle of this election that held in Bayelsa State. Of course, everyone is excited, waiting to see to the end of the process that will mark the beginning of another chapter for the next 4 years in Bayelsa State. And of course, we have a number of the observers who are here to watch the processes. With me here in the INEC Collation Center is one of the local observers who would like to get his perspective on how far, what his thoughts are with respect to this election that held in Bayelsa State and the processes that will culminate to the final announcement of the result. Here with me is Mr. Azubike Romanus. Mr. Azubike Romanus, could you just tell us what are your perspectives? How do you appraise the processes so far?
First, my name is Romanus Azubike, the Executive Director of Center for Strategy, Ethics and Value. So far so good. The election started in a good note, and it's very peaceful. And INEC have done wonderfully in terms of logistics, because in most of the polling units, the distribution have been commenced very early.
Now, emphasis now it's on the collation process. Well, your perspective on the collation that is going on so far.
The collation, we commend INEC in their collation. They have been very transparent, especially when announced the result in each local government. They will ask the party agents their own if there's any challenge about it. And many of them have raised an issue, and they have recorded it. Because INEC have one to review the result of whatever happened in the collation today.
All right, besides what is happening at the collation center here, what's your view about the thought of Bayelsans so far?
The Bayelsans are happy the way the election ended peacefully. Right. They commented.
Okay. You've heard the perspective of Mr. Romanus Azubike, who is one of the local observers monitoring this election here in Bayelsa State, Yenegua, the state capital. We'll keep updating you when the resumption of this process commences at this state INEC head office. Is back to you in the studios for the continuation of Panorama. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Kingsley, and we hope to get more updates from you subsequently. You're still watching Panorama on NTA. Let's take a breather now. More reports to come. To stay. Thanks for staying with us. President, Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, Ladibala, has flagged off a campaign seeking re-election to consolidate on lofty achievements recorded in the last 3 years of her tenure. Charles Alpha reports that top on her 4-point agenda if re-elected for another 3 years, is the building of Nawaj National Secretariat and capacity building initiatives for members.
It is another election year for the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, and 25th of this month could prove decisive for their overall ambition for a well-established structure and key decision process in governance. That is why members from various states converged on Abuja to flag off campaign and rally support for the incumbent president of the association, Ladibala, who they believe is endowed with a vision and determination to take Nawaj to the next great heights after so many groundbreaking achievements during her first 3 years.
All our tongues should vote for Ladibala. 3+3, no shaking.
Each time she stands to talk, I'm so proud. That is the person to watch. That is the person to campaign for.
Remember when you came for campaign, I told you here in this very hall, I said if you don't do well, don't expect to see us rally around you again. But you did well.
We have 2 contestants, and our slogan, FCT is hosting to win.
For the president, Ladibala, the priorities will be to build the Nawaj Secretariat, capacity of members on digital storytelling, leverage international partnership around issues on gender and women participation in governance.
The paying of rents in Abuja is not easy, so we are going to hurriedly see that in the next 12 months that we have a secretariat on ground. This is one, a big project. Nawaj is planning to apply for a license, a community radio license, so that we have our own radio station where we tell the Nigerian woman's story.
The women here have decided giving Ladibala another 3 years won't be a bad idea, and as such have asked members to speak with one voice, barring all differences, and come together. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
In other news, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered investigation to unravel the circumstances surrounding the attack on the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joseph Ajero, in Imo State. The first public relations officer made this known to newsmen in Owerri, Imo State.
The investigation into the alleged assault on the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajero, according to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Adiolu Ebekotun, is aimed at ascertaining the true fact surrounding the incident with a view to addressing any ambiguity that may exist. Hence, he has directed the DIG in charge of Force Criminal Investigation Department to take over the investigation.
The investigation has commenced, and the Nigerian Police Force guarantees that it will be followed to a conclusive end, and appropriate actions will be taken based on the findings of the investigation.
The IGP enjoined the organized labor and the public to be calm, assuring that justice will be served at the end of the day.
The Nigerian Police Force understands the importance of transparency and accountability in maintaining public trust. The IGP therefore assures the public, most especially the leadership of the organized labor, that a thorough and unbiased inquiry will be conducted to provide clarifications while urging organized labor and the public to remain calm, as he has personally intervened to address the issues surrounding this incident.
It will be recalled that Comrade Ajero was attacked in Imo State when he came for a peaceful protest to press on the state government to pay arrears of salaries of workers and pensioners in the state. In Owerri, Loretta Rinzi-Gwim, NTA News.
Strengthening the value of the naira is the responsibility of all Nigerians, hence the need to support the Central Bank of Nigeria in stabilizing the Nigerian currency for economic gains. Musa Abubakar reports that this dominated discussions at the lecture and book presentation titled Cowries to Cashless in Abuja.
Like this song by Marco, money needs no introduction because it makes the world go round. Cowries like these on this Jarawa cultural troupe were used in the past as commodity money. From trade by barter to commodity money evolving to cash and now cashless, financial transaction continues to make sense through transformation. This evolution is captured in this book titled Cowries to Cashless: History, Trends, Reforms, Issues and Icons.
Looking here at the future of money, and we know that the future of money is digital.
Tokpe Fashwa, who represented the Vice President Kashim Shettima, and other speakers acknowledged the importance of the Naira as a medium of exchange, as well as its transformational journey to cashless status.
Who can engage the world and cause great tectonic shifts in the understanding, usage, and deployment and mastery of the technologies that drive money.
Well, we are in a society world now. We are moving to artificial intelligence, robots, robotics, which are all part of the ingredients for the so-called cashless society.
Our aspiration is to push the boundaries to over 95%, and we are well on course.
The conversation continues on the need for Nigerians to appreciate their national currency and support the CBN to stabilize the monetary environment. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Next is Sports Update with Badi Adeleye.
Nigeria's Falconets played 1-0 away to Tanzania in the first leg of their third-round fixture of the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers on Sunday. Chioma Olise opened the scoring for the Falconets in the 60th minute of the game, but the host equalized in the 71st minute through Asna Thubamba to set up a mouth-watering second leg in Abuja next Sunday. Back home, Remo Stars boosted their Nigeria Premier Football League title hopes as they hammered Gombe United 4-0 in a match the 8th encounter played Sunday in Ikene.
To Sikiru on the edge of the 18-yard box. Can he get the finish? Yes, he does!
Plateau United were also big winners as they recorded a 3-1 home win over Abia Warriors. In Kano, Adam Musa's second-half strike was all Kano pillars needed to see off Enyimba.
It's a goal!
Spoils were shared in the highly contested game between Sunshine Stars and Rangers International in Akure, with the visitors scoring in injury time to secure a 2-2 draw. In other results, Lobby Stars maintained their lead atop the standings with a 1-0 victory over Sporting Lagos. Katsina United beat Rivers United 1-0, while Bendel Insurance and Niger Tornadoes played goalless. Meanwhile, Nasarawa United have set their sights on an immediate return to the Nigeria Premier Football League after they began their campaign in the Nigeria National League with a 1-0 victory over Zamfara United on Saturday. Aminu Abubakar's 9th-minute goal sealed the 3 points for the Solid Miners in front of their fans.
We are happy that Nasarawa State is now hosting the first game, for the NNL, and it means a lot to us.
I told them if there's going to be half goal, I need it, and I got the 3 points.
In the English Premier League, 8 goals were scored as Chelsea and Manchester City played 4 at Stamford Bridge. Mohamed Salah got a brace as Liverpool beat Brentford 3-0, while Nigeria's Tawa Wuni's goal could not prevent Nottingham Forest from losing 3-2 to West Ham United. And finally, home favourite Yannick Sinner beat Stefano Tsitsipas in straight sets on the first day of the season-ending ATP Finals in Turin, Italy. Sinner put in a dominant performance to win 6-4, 6-4. With Sports Update, Badi Adeleye, NTA News.
In Sports Update ends Panorama this afternoon. Thank you so much for your time.